Eric here from UP Garage. Let's figure out R32 that has four-wheel drive lights on but no codes in the back. Key on, four-wheel drive and ABS lights are on. However, if we go to the back, I've already been in here trying to figure it out. There are no codes. This normally is mounted up here on the deck lid, but I pulled it down because I was diagnosing, and there are no codes in the computer. But the four-wheel drive and the ABS lights are on. So, what is it? Okay, after doing some more digging, I redid the grounds on here, and there's one under the deck lid in the back. That's the one for the four-wheel drive. And is the one in the corner up here and one in the corner over there. And then you have 3 in the engine bay. You have the one here by the battery, and you have the one there on the core support, and you have one here on the core support. We have come across where we have had bad grounds, and the four-wheel drive ECU seems to be more sensitive than the rest of them when it comes to grounds not being right. We had a problem with a TPS code that just wouldn't go away on a 32, and it ended up being a grounding problem. We redid all the grounds with a bonding brush here and all over, and it never came back again. So grounds are usually our go-to, is our first step when diagnosing the an unusual four-wheel drive situation where there's no codes or there's something unusual. However, for this one, the lights are on, nobody's home, there's no codes, and so I did some digging, and let's walk over to the troubleshooting. So the first lead was well, not lead, but the first thing was the number of LED flashes could be 24, or it's continuously on or continuously off. So that could be, if it's off, it could be there's no power to the system or there's no ground. But since we have lights in the dash, we were trying to figure out what controls the lights in the dash. Here's the diagram for the 32 four-wheel drive computer and for the ABS, all one unit. The lights are here, so four-wheel drive, the ABS and four-wheel drive, they come on whether the ECU is plugged in or not, because the four-wheel drive and the ABS run 5-pin relays, and the default is to ground on both of them for the lights, so it's like a bulb check. So when you turn the key on, the lights are supposed to turn on, and then they turn off, and then if you have a code, they come back on, or they stay on, and then you check the lights in the back. But since there's no code in the back and the lights are on, that means that this is not involved, and the relays are not turning on because the switch is not coming off the ground contact on both of them, on the ABS and the ETS. If you unplug this relay and this relay, the light turns off, which means these are what's keeping the light on, but there's no codes because the ECU for the four-wheel drive is not controlling the lights. So why is the ETS relay and the ABS actuator relay not turning on and cycling as they're supposed to with the key on? So with the key on, and when it's working, is this relay latches, disconnects the ground from the light. The ECU, based on the resistor here, knows that the relay is hooked up, and then the four-wheel drive ECU will turn the light off. So I put another relay in it, make sure that we have powers and grounds. I can click. I ran a jumper wire to the ECU to make sure that the control wire 33 is in control of the relay. There's no broken wires, just to eliminate any mechanical faults. So then the other thing that we noticed was that on this car that the tach was not functioning, and we couldn't remember. A car came from Japan and had an aftermarket tach in it. Couldn't remember if the tach worked before or not, but we hadn't really dug into it too much. So I decided to fix. We always decided we fix what we know is wrong. So the tach was non-operational. As you can see, non-operational tach, which is unusual. It's not usually a problem. So I pulled the cluster out, put another cluster in it. Tach still doesn't work. So at this point, I'm going to go to the ECU over there and figure out why there's no tach signal. And what I found was that excuse the wiring. This wire was broken under some existing tape, and it was loose, or was not touching anymore. So I fixed the wire. I did this so we can diagnose it, and I hooked this up, and the tach works now, and the four-wheel drive light and the ABS light are off. So Nissan didn't put in their diagnosing systems a way to check a code for non-operational tach. So when you turn the key on, the system looks for connects to the tach on the ECU from the four-wheel drive computer. It's looking for to make sure the wire is connected to the ECU. It's looking to make sure, hey, we have everything we need in place for the system to work correctly. The wire on this car was broken. So if you have four-wheel drive light and ABS light on and there's no codes in the back, I would make sure and confirm with a continuity test to make sure that between pin 7 on the ECU and pin 31 on the four-wheel drive ECU are connected. That was the problem with this car, and I was doing some reading or just perusing the internet, and this problem exists from the early 2000s, and no one really had a solution or what was going on. But Nissan wanted to make sure that the tach signal was operational, but there's no troubleshooting code for operational tach. And even with the car not running, key on, it's still looking to make sure that wire is connected, not open. But there's no code for an open wire. So I hope this was helpful. I'll do some, breakdown with other pictures and stuff on this video. So until the next oddball four-wheel drive 32 code problem comes along,